everybody, thank you for downloading my ArrayseToolKit. Now let's dive in. Let's talk about arrays. Now arrays, it's related to multiplication and division as well. So as the kids are learning how to draw an array, they're also learning their multiplication facts. So I always encourage the kids, the more you have your multiplication facts memorized, the easier it's going to be for you to do arrays and anything else that involves multiplication and division. So encouraging them to learn their multiplication facts is key. But let's talk about arrays. Now, arrays are fun to do, but along the way, kids start to lose a little bit of interest, I think, when it comes to arrays. And some of the reasons why I think they start to lose interest is because some of them tend to forget what is a row and what is a column. Okay, so they tend to forget that, and then when students are counting what makes an array, they also tend to miscount sometimes. So they're trying their best to draw, and then things can be little, really tiny, or they're not even. So they tend to get a little bit frustrated when it comes to drawing an array, because some tend to be easy, right? Like 2 rows and 3 columns. But then if they have to draw 7 rows and 8 columns, that might be a little bit difficult for them to actually keep it consistent. So they tend to get a little bit frustrated with it. So here are some tips that I do in order to help kids with arrays. Now, obviously, encourage them to learn those multiplication facts, because if they can see that there's 5 rows and 6 columns, they're going to automatically know, oh, that's 30. There's 30 things in this array. So encourage them to learn their multiplication facts. Now, I also like to provide a resource for them, like a reference that they can see what makes a row and what makes a column. Now, that could be something simple as to just write it on the board. These are rows and these are columns. Or teaching them, like if they're rowing a boat, their paddle is across. So rows, those are across. And the word column has an L, so columns are up and down. Okay, so little references like that will help them remember what makes a row and what makes a column. Also, providing graph paper has also helped many kids. Some are very organized and they can keep an array consistent, but some they start kind of big and then their array starts to just get smaller and smaller as they're drawing it. So providing some graph paper definitely helps keep their array organized. I like to use graph paper with the enlarged boxes. Sometimes I just have to print one out, or I can buy some, with enlarged boxes, but I like to give them the enlarged boxes because that way they're not working with this tiny little box. So I like to print paper that has enlarged boxes for them so they can use. Another tip that I like to do is I like to have them number the rows and the columns. Okay, so that will help them see, like, oh, if I know my multiplication facts, I know that this array, I can just multiply these numbers and I know what's inside the array. So having them label how many rows they have and how many columns is definitely helpful. Now, at first, as they're learning their multiplication tables, they might not know all of them, so they might actually have to count what's inside an array. Now, the best way that I have found for kids to not get mixed up in their counting is to actually write the number out. So if they have an array with 2 rows and 3 columns, that's going to be easy for them to see, but they have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So numbering what's inside the array has helped a lot of kids at the beginning as they're learning their multiplication facts. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoy these resources that are in this ArrayseToolKit, and I'll see you guys next time.